During the last few months of the year, Americans are estimated to spend nearly $1,000 on holiday-related things, whether it's gift, food, and other holiday expenses. This is really tricky because a lot of us like to show our love and adoration and care for other people through gift giving, attending holiday parties, or traveling back home to see loved ones. But what we don't want is to be stuck with a financial hangover and having credit card debt or feeling like we weren't able to move toward our other financial goals because of the spending. In 2022, LendingTree released the results of a survey that found that 35% of Americans took on unexpected debt around the holiday season. And of the people who took on that debt, 60% of them said that this was unplanned money. They didn't anticipate this particular type of holiday spending. I'm Lindsay Bryan-Podvin. I'm a certified financial therapist, licensed social worker, author of the book, The Financial Anxiety Solution, and I help people as a financial therapist at the intersection of money and mental health with my financial wellness business, Mind Money Balance. You can find an archive of all of my videos, podcasts, blog posts, what have you, at mindmoneybalance.com. If you're loving this video and you want to stay on YouTube, just hit subscribe. In this video, I'm going to help you spend your money how you want this holiday season. This is not about not spending any money. In fact, this video is going to help you really understand some of the reasons why you might want to be spending money so you can limit spending that you aren't super thrilled about and hopefully help you to avoid unnecessary debt and make sure that you're prioritizing your own financial goals. In my follow-up video, we'll go a little bit deeper, even talking about the importance of practicing financial selfishness, so make sure you stick around for when that one drops. The pressure to spend and overspend during the holiday season really comes from two main places. We have this external pressure or we have this internal pressure, and sometimes, quite frankly, it's both. When it's external, this is a pressure coming at us. This is the type of pressure where we feel like we should be spending money or buying a gift or committing a certain amount of money to a cause in order to celebrate or observe a holiday the right way. For example, this might be feeling like you're already maxed out, and when a friend invites you to a holiday party where there will be a gift exchange, feeling like you can't say no because you're experiencing that peer pressure or that pressure of the community saying like, hey, we want you here, you should come. Another example is if the majority of your family and friends live in one area of the country and you live in a different area, the pressure from family and friends to say like, oh, please come home, we'd love to see you, and struggling with that external pressure, even if it isn't a financial priority for you or you just don't know if you can swing it. When it comes to internal pressure, this is the pressure that we put on ourselves from the stories that we tell ourselves about how we should or should not spend our time and money around the holidays. It also might be internal if it is about helping us to personally feel good. For example, we spend a little bit more money than we were planning because we have an idea of how the other person's face will look when they open up the gift that we just mailed for them. It sounds external, but it's us. We are wanting their reaction. It's about us. It's not really about them. Another internal pressure that you might be experiencing is envisioning hosting family or friends for a holiday dinner and not just thinking about what you want to serve or who you want to invite, but really getting hyper fixated on if I have the perfect tablescape, then this will be the perfect way to express my kindness and compassion and, really set this tone of coziness, and therefore overspending on things like the perfect tablecloth or making sure that you have the right centerpiece that is this beautiful blend of matching candles and curated greenery or whatever the trend is, and spending money on handwritten cursive name tags, right? Like getting really hyper fixated on having something be or look a certain way. Those are the two main buckets. Is external, you're feeling pressure from someone else, or internal, you're feeling the pressure to do something in a certain way. Whether it's internal pressure or external pressure, when we are not taking care of ourselves financially, especially over the holidays, it can take a huge toll on obviously our finances, but also how we feel. Spending money, especially around the holidays, is often an emotional experience. We equate how we feel or how we want to feel with a certain purchase, whether that purchase is a plane ticket or whether that purchase is a gift. For example, we think our nephew who loves video games will feel excited, seen, and supported if we buy them the hard-to-find video game of that season. And that emotion of wanting them to be excited and seen and happy and thinking that we can curate that specific feeling by buying this specific thing might lead us to overspending. If there is a hard-to-find holiday gift and you have to go on eBay or some, secondhand video game website, you might end up paying more or bidding more to secure that particular gift because you want that particular emotion, or you think that purchasing that thing will give that person the particular emotion that you're hoping for. As I mentioned earlier, with that internal pressure of trying to create the perfect tablescape, what we might be trying to do is give our guests the feeling of being loved and of being appreciated if we, in addition to that beautiful tablescape, buy them a party favor that they can take home in addition to that experience that you've already created for them with that meal and with that tablescape, right? We're trying to say, oh, I love you because I got you this particular party favor. Another reason that we spend because of our emotions around the holidays is to assuage our guilt. This might look like buying a gift solely to return the favor, or feeling like you should purchase somebody a gift or RSVP to a party, right? We're trying to alleviate the guilt that comes along with so many times saying no or not spending that money. So those are some examples of how our emotions can get caught up in holiday spending. And of course, every single time we spend, our body releases different hormones that make us feel good. I've talked about this at length in another video that I will link here. Let me just give you a quick primer on those 4 hormones and what they do. They are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Dopamine is that feel-good hormone that comes along with being rewarded for novelty. It plays a role in motivation to take action or movement. And we can get this outside of spending by spending time outdoors, getting enough sleep, listening to music, trying new things. Oxytocin is that connection hormone. It promotes the feeling of connection, of love, of trust. And we can boost this hormone outside of spending with things like physical touch, whether it's hugging or cuddling or petting a pet, having deep conversations, and engaging in shared activities. Serotonin is the hormone that helps you to feel happy and balanced. It also helps us to manage our anxiety, promotes good sleep, and is involved in maintaining a healthy appetite. Other ways that we can get this outside of spending money is to be kind to ourselves, engaging in positive self-talk or practicing a gratitude practice, recalling happy moments, and of course, getting good sleep. And finally, endorphins. Endorphins act as natural painkillers and create a sense of euphoria and accomplishment. Outside of spending money, we can get this through physical activity, engaging in laughter, eating dark chocolate, and completing tasks. How was that for a little biology refresher? So if we know that we might be spending money in order to get a chemical need met, I want to give you some examples of holiday-specific swaps that you might want to try out to continue practicing financial self-care during the holidays. For example, if you're tempted to buy something for yourself when you are out shopping for other people on the list that you have already budgeted for or allocated money for, you might be craving serotonin, right? You might be craving that happiness, that evenness. So other ways to get that serotonin fix would be to do something like when you get home that night and do your skincare routine, putting on a face mask before bed, or engaging in a gratitude practice of writing down 3 to 5 things that you are grateful for at the end of the day. That would be an example of a swap. If you feel like you are buying something because you want to avoid FOMO, that fear of missing out piece is all about community. So you might be craving oxytocin. Instead of buying that thing because you want to feel included socially, what are other ways you can have your social needs met? Call your friends, text your friends, engage in a group activity, or, if those things aren't available to you, cuddle with a pet. And finally, if you're feeling tempted to buy because of a limited time offer, because of a sale, but you really don't need that thing, this is probably dopamine. That urge to buy something that's time limited is often associated with that feeling of reward or anticipation. So to swap that out, we want to look for how are ways that you can get your dopamine fix met without spending money. That might be something like organizing your to-do list or completing something that's been hanging out on your task list for a long time. Accomplishing those small wins or those small goals can also give you a dopamine boost. So if you love this video and you want a more holistic, inclusive take on financial wellness, not just tips and tricks of how to save money, but also thinking about how our emotions are involved in how social pressures impact us, did you know that you can hire me at Mind Money Balance to come speak to your team or your organization? If you want to learn more, head to mindmoneybalance.com/speaking to learn more about what I offer and even submit an inquiry. As we come to a close today, remember that holidays can be stressful emotionally and financially. And what I want you to do is do your best to carve out those times to remember that the whole purpose of the holiday season is to cultivate that time with loved ones and to have joy and to have relaxation, or whatever the particular driving values are for you around the holiday season. Make sure that those stay at the forefront. It is totally common for internal or external factors to get triggered during the holiday season and find yourself overspending or spending on things that you didn't necessarily plan for. Hopefully, by understanding why we do what we do, you can start to figure out what things you may be susceptible to and start implementing some of these practical strategies so that you can stay on track financially and enjoy the holiday season. And if you're planning on using your credit card around the holidays, make sure that you are avoiding credit card traps and making sure that you're not getting stuck in them. I have an entire video all about credit card traps to avoid that I will link here. This will help you maintain your financial health and well-being regardless of the season. See you next time.